How does a popular, athletic college kid with a seemingly bright future end up committing an act of unspeakable cannibalistic violence? On the surface, Austin Harrouff was a 19-year-old student at Florida State University who looked like he had it all. He was a fraternity brother, an athlete, and a fitness YouTuber with a charismatic personality. His family and friends knew him as a gentle person who loved to make people laugh. But underneath this picture-perfect exterior, a devastating storm was gathering in his mind. This darkness would eventually erupt in a frenzy of violence so shocking it captured the world's attention. This is the story of Austin Harrouff, the YouTuber who became a cannibal. Before the summer of 2016, Austin Harrouff's life seemed to be on a perfect track. He was studying exercise science at Florida State University, a major that lined up with his passion for fitness and bodybuilding. His small YouTube channel was a window into his world, where he shared workout tips and talked about his inspirations, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had good grades, a gentle personality, and no criminal record. His own father later said, "My son is an extremely nice, gentle person who cared a lot about people." By all accounts, he was someone you could see as a son, a brother, or a friend. But as summer began, the ambitious young man his family knew started to fade, replaced by someone they couldn't recognize. The normal was about to be shattered in the most horrific way. The first signs of trouble were small, but they quickly became impossible to ignore. In the weeks leading up to the attack, Harrouff's behavior grew increasingly bizarre. He started to believe he had superhuman abilities and was on a mission to help people. He even told his mother that their house was haunted by demons, including a dark figure he named Daniel. His paranoia intensified, and he spoke of a go, go, go energy and a sense of grandiosity that was completely out of character.
I do the bench press. I just want to fucking say that. And like, anybody who disagrees is such an ass.
His YouTube channel, once a simple fitness diary, turned into a public record of his unraveling. In one of his last videos, he looked at the camera and said, "I came to a realization of something. I no longer want to follow Arnold or any other bodybuilder. I want to follow myself."
What's up, guys? I just want to let you know that I came to a realization of something. I no longer want to follow Arnold or any other bodybuilder. I want to follow myself, you know? I want to actually believe in myself.
It was a strange statement that hinted at a growing break from reality. His Google searches from that time were even more chilling, including things like, "How to know if you are going crazy," and "Hearing things in my sleep." His parents became so worried they scheduled a mental health evaluation for him, but they wouldn't get there in time. Austin was plummeting toward an abyss, and there was no turning back. On the 15th of August 2016, the day of the murders, Austin's psychosis hit its peak. That evening, he joined his father, Wade, for dinner at a sports restaurant. During the meal, Austin became agitated, complaining about the slow service. His father, worried by his son's erratic behavior, confronted him. An argument broke out, and Austin stormed out of the restaurant. His frantic mother, Mina, called 911, her voice filled with fear. She told the dispatcher that her son seemed delusional, claiming he felt immortal, like a superhero. Austin walked the 4 miles to his mother's house, where his behavior became even more alarming. She found him in the kitchen, drinking cooking oil directly from the bottle. After she confronted him, he left again, vanishing into the warm Florida night. For the next 3 miles, he walked, a young man at war with his own mind, his path leading him straight to the quiet, unsuspecting home of John Stevens and Michelle Mishkan. John Stevens, 59, and his wife, Michelle Mishkan, 53, were enjoying a quiet evening at home in their open garage, a space where they often relaxed. They had no idea that a random and senseless tragedy was walking toward their door. Austin Harrouff stumbled upon their home, seemingly by chance. What happened next was an explosion of unprovoked, savage violence. Harrouff attacked the couple with a fury that was later described as inhuman, using a machete and other tools he found in their garage. A neighbor, Jeff Fisher, heard the terrifying screams and ran to help. He discovered a scene of unimaginable horror and tried to intervene, but Harrouff turned on him, stabbing him multiple times. Fisher managed to escape and call 911. When the first sheriff's deputy arrived, she found Harrouff in his underwear, on top of John Stevens' body, biting chunks from his face and making animalistic, growling sounds. The chaos was captured in the deputy's radio call. "No, sir. I have this guy wrapped around him and he's biting him." It took multiple officers, a K-9 unit, and a taser to finally pull Harrouff off the victim. As they subdued him, he spat out a piece of human flesh and begged them to kill him. John Stevens and Michelle Mishkan were pronounced dead at the scene. In the immediate aftermath, everyone scrambled for an explanation. The brutal, cannibalistic nature of the crime led to widespread speculation that Harrouff was on powerful synthetic drugs like flakka or bath salts, which had been linked to other bizarre incidents in Florida. However, that theory was quickly proven wrong. An FBI toxicology report found no traces of flakka or bath salts in his system. The only substances detected were tiny amounts of THC from marijuana and medications administered at the hospital. With drugs ruled out, the focus shifted to Harrouff's mental state. In interviews from his hospital bed, where he was recovering from swallowing chemicals from the victim's garage, a terrifying picture of his psychosis emerged. He told psychologists he believed he was a half man, half dog. He spoke of seeing demonic figures and hearing God's voice. A state-hired psychologist, Dr. Gregory Landrum, concluded that Harrouff was in an acute psychotic episode and was unable to distinguish right from wrong during the attacks. Another expert, Dr. Philip Resnick, noted that Harrouff continuing to bite the victim despite being tased and kicked was a clear sign of active psychosis. This wasn't a case about drugs. It was about a catastrophic mental breakdown. Austin Harrouff was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. His legal team prepared an insanity defense, arguing he didn't know what he was doing or that it was wrong. Under Florida law, proving insanity is incredibly difficult, as defendants are presumed sane. But in a rare moment of consensus, experts for both the prosecution and the defense came to the same conclusion. Harrouff was legally insane at the time of the killings. They diagnosed him with a severe thought disorder, likely schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, and pointed to his delusions as proof of his psychotic state. After years of delays, some due to the pandemic and Harrouff's own recovery, the trial was set for November 2022. However, given the overwhelming expert agreement, the case didn't go to trial. On the 28th of November 2022, Judge Sherwood Bauer accepted a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. Instead of prison, Harrouff was committed to a secure psychiatric hospital, where he will stay until doctors and a judge agree he's no longer a danger to the public. The verdict was met with anger and heartbreak from the victims' families, who felt that justice had been denied. The story of Austin Harrouff is a tragedy from every angle. It's the story of John Stevens and Michelle Mishkan, 2 innocent people whose lives were stolen in a moment of incomprehensible violence. It's the story of their families, left to deal with a loss made even more painful by a legal outcome that feels like a profound injustice. And it's the story of a young man whose mind turned against itself, leading him down a delusional path that ended in a real-world nightmare. The case leaves us with disturbing questions about severe mental illness, the limitations of the justice system, and the terrifying speed at which a seemingly normal life can completely unravel. It's a horrifying reminder that the monsters we fear are sometimes not born of evil, but of an illness that can consume a person whole. This case is incredibly complex and sparks a lot of debate. What are your thoughts on the verdict of not guilty by reason of insanity? Let us know in the comments below. And if you find these deep dives into true crime cases compelling, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for more content.